Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Gemini. If Gemini is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. Oh my goodness. I was in a very good knocking on there tonight. All right, let's see. What do these tea leaves have to say? And so our card for tonight is the Prince of Discs. And this is kind of all about concentration, stability, work, stability through hard work. To be reliable, calm, and sometimes quite stubborn. Okay, so Pudgy, come on, buddy. You want to say hello? Now you have to go, though. Come on. Let's go. All the way down, please. All the way down, please. Thank you. Thank you. Sometimes he listens. Sometimes he do not. Okay, here we go. All right. So I want to start with these two because these are what really stand out to me. We have here a dragon, and it looks more like what I imagine kind of the Chinese kind of flowing and beautiful and graceful, this kind of very masculine symbol of good luck, vitality, health, strength. And so I feel like this is in line with that Prince of Discs, okay? Growing into a place of great knowing and strength within the material world, being able to navigate your physicality mixed with that beautiful mind of yours, and to channel it into the work that you do. If that's creative, spiritual, within your career, how you make resources, take care of your family, and so on, okay? Any kind of work, really. And I feel that, you know, with that placement being kind of the prince versus the knight or the king, it would be the king as well. There's still growth. There's still there are times when you might need a little assistance. You might need some mentorship. You might have to ask for help. You can be stubborn. It might be hard for you to admit to somebody else, but even yourself, that you don't understand something, or that whatever you are doing is not working in the way that you are doing it, right? And that can be hard. That's hard to, it is hard to put a lot of time into something that you love and it's not working quite right. But when we can get to a place where we understand that most things that happen in life, we need help, right? We are social beings for a reason, okay? We need kind of a collective consensus sometimes. We need to talk to somebody that knows what they're doing, somebody that has made some of the mistakes, okay? And so I see here we have a beautiful pine tree. I've never had a pine tree like this in my readings. It's gorgeous. it amazes me some of the things that get laid out with these leaves. I mean, I'm just, you know, the way that the tea kind of flows around. And so, well, the pine tree for me is all about something that is long lasting and kind of always in season. As we know, pine trees are evergreens. These are, you know, trees that they don't go through the seasons quite like, you know, like an oak tree or a maple or an ash tree, or, you know, the leaves they turn colors and they fall off and they're bare, and then the spring comes and they get little buds on them, and then they, you know, leaf out and all of this. Well, the evergreens, they stay themselves all through. Okay. And so I feel that it is really quite a goal for you to find some amount of stability, but kind of the sense of something that will last. You know, maybe even build something that will survive even past you, right? After you're done in this physical form, this thing is going to go on, a legacy of some kind. Okay, so I feel that you have, you know, lofty goals, and this might be within that realm of making money, building a business, building a career, a family, some kind of thing that your family has maybe done before. You're not the first generation, and maybe you hope that your child or children, grandchildren will continue on. Now, is that realistic in the world that we live in today? I don't know. I mean, there are plenty of people who go into the same fields as their parents. So maybe it's not as realistic as it once was, right? But it still does happen. So I really see that you are working very hard towards whatever it is you're building. And, you know, you're still a little young in it. Even if you're not a young person, you know, you are still learning whatever you're doing, right? There's still the refinement of self happening, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that, you know. I know it can be hard for some of us to say, I really don't know what I'm doing here. I thought I did, and now I'm looking at this, it doesn't, you know, make as much sense to me. I have to say for myself, I thought I knew a lot about the world. And then I had a child at when I was 35, and I realized that I don't really know anything about anything. Constantly think I figure things out, and it changes immediately, right? So, you know, it's very humbling to be learning a whole new thing, like raising a child, like starting a business, like going into a new career, or, you know, if you're already retired, maybe you are starting a new hobby, you volunteer somewhere, doing something, maybe taking care of somebody in your family or your spouse. It's amazing how much you learn when you are taking care of somebody medically at home. You know, if you talk to anybody who has taken care of somebody who has, say, like a chronic illness or something that is debilitating for the person they're caring for, and they have any kind of like medical devices, or, you know, they need to research things so they can talk to the specialist. I mean, you know, people get very specialized knowledge, and it is quite amazing. So it could be something like this for you. So it really, we are always learning, right? No matter what age we are. But I do think that you are learning to truly see where you falter a little bit and just owning it, not letting your pride get in the way. And this practice of asking for help. Okay. The good news is a lot of things you can find on Google or, whatever that DuckDuckGo or whatever those other ones are. You can look up a lot of it for yourself. But if you do need the help of another person, I know that can sometimes be difficult. I'm not always the best at asking for help either. Okay, so we have a boat. We have a person it looks like they're rowing very hard. It looks like they're really working hard with that boat there. So I see that there's a lot of movement. I don't think, that you are ever willing to stay in one place for too long or in one position for too long. There is always that underlying mercurial energy, right? And so things keep flowing. They keep going for you. And you are quite flexible in your life in general. Okay, so although it might be hard to say, hey, I don't know, I need help, this is something that's really important to me right now. You are still always going to make things work for you because you're ever shifting. And not too many, really, ultimately, Gemini, you are one of the most transitional people, I think, ever changing, evolving. I would say that if somebody were to know you when you're 20 years old and then they get back in touch with you when you're 30 years old, you've already lived a whole lifetime. And then you see them again when you're 50, you've had 4 or 5 lifetimes in that time. So, just always kind of doing different stuff. Really interesting, right? Exploring the realms of possibility out there. And very motivated to do so. I almost don't even think it's just a motivation. It's like you don't know how to exist otherwise. Okay. I've never known a Gemini person to be just stuck in a situation for more than a moment. Okay, so we have a person here who has their arms open and it looks like a little kind of orb here. And I really believe, and I see, let's look over here too. This is kind of that dragon turned over, but it looks like a person with their hands out, and these look like flowers here. Okay, so I believe between these two, also we have the little orb right here. There is a real sense of a blessing coming through. Okay, I think that through this opening, right? Really opening up your heart, your vulnerability, being able to take advice, take maybe, a little critiquing or whatever it is. Being able to not only communicate but listen. This has really kind of cleared out some old energies and is allowing for these blessings to come in for you. Okay, this is a very active energy, and I almost feel like as you are looking for this assistance, it seems like it will be close to home. It'll be somebody who is either like a family member or maybe like a close friend or friend of the family who is going to help you kind of resolve some of this, like, not really knowing where to go. And I almost wonder if this is something where you're looking for maybe a new job or extra work or some kind of training. Maybe you are trying to network and this person kind of knows some people that might be helpful to you. But whatever it is going to kind of really ride in with this big blessing happening. Okay. And I really see that we are getting to a place of stability here. Okay. And I'm looking up here and I see a person holding, again, an orb. But then I see, it looks like a couple of people kind of, I almost think of, carrying that boulder up the hill, Sisyphus. But kind of this energy of finally just going over the hill, right? Getting out of this cycle of, working, thinking you're getting there, and it kind of falls apart on you, right? Getting over that slump or whatever, the hill that you keep having to climb, and getting into a place of a deeper stability, and really just feeling a sense of security in that. Okay. And I think, once we get to a place where we're doing things that feel like they are going to be lasting, that it's something that we feel that we understand, we feel confident within it, something that we can continue to grow. There is a real sense of life that appears, an ease to kind of navigating the corridors of whatever it is you're doing, right? And just adaptability in general. You have that adaptive nature already, but when you feel confident about something, with good reason, of course, not just idly confident for whatever, kind of maybe through being naive or whatever, which is not this. But once you find that confidence in knowing that you can do something or a great deal of some things and kind of put them together, it becomes, almost kind of a pleasure to be able to do the work that you're doing, right? And that in itself is a huge blessing. So I want to look at this. We have a swan, okay? And let's see, we have a person here and they seem to be kind of, I feel like there's some anxiety, okay? But I think that this actual part of the reading, and I'm going to try to get this without spilling this all over the place. And I want to show you, there's kind of a little heart here, okay? And I feel like there is a sense of anxiety, but I think that this is more about kind of a romantic love thing happening, okay? I feel that you have your person, or you have met your person, or you feel that they're your person, and there is some amount of kind of motivation to get these other things kind of worked out, maybe getting to that more stable place, because in part of this relationship with this person who you love deeply. And I can see, a desire, not unlike that, the evergreen tree, the pine tree we're looking at, that you want this to be everlasting. I think that you feel that you kind of have to get it together and figure it out, because that will help stabilize this relationship in just the realm of finances and domestic kinds of responsibilities, which, you know, no matter how much you love somebody, it is important, in reality, right? If you want something to last, there has to be some amount of responsibility in keeping the home and, you know, doing the things that you need to do for your relationship and your family and all of that. I mean, you know, there's no way around it unless you are, you know, very young, I would say, living in a chaotic, financially, you know, stressful relationship or environment. There is going to be a strain, right? So, you know, I don't think it's illogical to, you know, be focused on these things if you want your relationship to continue to be a good one, right? I mean, it's not everything, of course. Money is not everything, but some sense of stability definitely helps, okay? All right. So I want to thank you so much. I am always so honored to be able to bring these messages to you. If you would be so kind as to like the video, it helps us get into the algorithm, and we are growing this channel. We just hit 13K, which I can't believe. I mean, it has come so fast, and I am so thankful. And, you know, if you haven't subscribed, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. And other than that, if you want to leave a comment, I read every single one of them. I try to get back to each and every one of them. Sometimes I can't do that, but usually I do. Usually I've been really good about it. And within a day or two, just depending on what's going on. The summer is busy. And my goodness, has it been warm? It has been so warm here. We are having the heat wave that everybody else has had. A little bit late. So I feel like I can't really complain about it too much because everybody else in the country has been going through it already. But, you know, I'm hot. It's been warm. I'm excited to get to sleep and rest after all of the sweating and being outside in the garden and stuff. It really took it out of me today. So, again, I want to thank you so much, and we'll talk again in just a few days.